What you are about to hear was never meant to be recorded, because the building where this happened has a floor that officially does not exist, and yet every night someone keeps requesting maintenance from it. This is After Dark Protocol 0. 05 location Azure Heights apartment. Complex, downtown Seattle, 42 floors. 318 residential units, and one missing floor. Not destroyed, just removed from every blueprint, every floor plan, every record classification. Level critical subject, the 33rd floor status, do not respond there. Are 47,000 apartment buildings in the United States. Every night maintenance workers respond to resident requests. Leaking, pipes, broken heaters, electrical failures. Most requests are routine, but in certain buildings, requests come from apartments that were never constructed, from floors that should not exist, and the workers who respond do not always return. October 2024, Marcus Webb, 29 years old night. Shift maintenance technician, Azure Heights, single father. His daughter Lily was 6 on nights. Marcus worked. Lily stayed with his mother. The night shift paid $6 extra per hour. That money covered school supplies, winter clothes, the heating bill. Marcus could not afford to lose this job. He had worked at Azure Heights for 3 years. He knew every resident, every hallway, every sound the building made at 3 a.m., which is why, when he was first given the rules, he thought it was a joke on his first night. The building manager handed him a laminated card. Tom Bradley, 61 years old, 12 years managing Azure Heights. Tom's hands were steady, but his eyes were not tired. They were afraid. He said only one thing: read this, memorize it. Never break the rules. Rule 1. The building has 42 floors. There is no 33rd floor. If you see a button marked 33 in the elevator, do not press it. Rule 2. Between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., you may receive maintenance requests from units beginning with 33. These units do not exist. Delete the request immediately. Rule 3. You see a door marked 33 in the stairwell. Do not open it. Walk past it. Do not look back. Rule 4. If a resident named Sarah Cho contacts you, do not respond. She has been requesting maintenance since before this building was constructed. Rule 5. If you find yourself on the 33rd floor, do not enter any apartment. Do not speak. Do not accept help from anyone you see. Find the stairs. Go down and do not look at what is sitting on the couches. Marcus laughed. He asked if this was some kind of initiation prank. Tom did not smile. He rolled up his left sleeve. 3 long scars, deep parallel, like fingers had dragged through his skin. I ignored Rule 2 once. Tom's voice was quiet. June 15th, 2018, Unit 3306, water leak. Urgent request. I took the elevator up, found the door in the stairwell, opened it. Tom stopped. His hand trembled slightly. I do not remember the next 3 days. They found me in the parking garage, standing against the concrete wall facing ID. Had not moved in 72 hours. Had not eaten. Had not blinked. My eyes were open the entire time. He lowered his sleeve. 2 other workers broke the rules. One quit the next morning, changed his name, moved to another state. He still will not say what he saw. Other never spoke again. He sits in his apartment, now staring at the wall, waiting for something that only he can see. Marcus stopped laughing. For 3 years, Marcus followed every rule. He deleted every request from floor 33. Never searched for the door. Never questioned the sounds until October 19th, 2:47 a.m. Marcus was in the basement maintenance office when his phone vibrated. Maintenance. Request Unit 3304 urgent. No heat. His thumb hovered over delete. Then he read the message. Please help. My daughter is cold. She is 6 years old. I can see her breath. Marcus felt his chest tighten. 6 years old? The same age as Lily, he told himself. It was not real, that the rules existed for a reason. That another message came. She keeps asking where her father is. She is scared. Please, we are in 3304. Marcus stood. He thought about Lily asleep at his mother's house, safe. Warm. He thought about another 6-year-old somewhere in this building, cold, afraid, asking for her father. Marcus grabbed his tool bag. Some rules cannot be followed by a father. The elevator panel had 42 buttons. Basement through 32. Then 34 through 42. No button for 33. Marcus pressed 32. The elevator rose, smooth, silent. Then, between floors 32 and 34, the elevator slowed. The lights flickered. When they came back on, a new button glowed. 3 warm amber, like it had always been there. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. The 33rd floor. The air was different, warmer, heavier, like the building was breathing. The hallway stretched ahead. Burgundy carpet, not the beige used elsewhere. Wallpaper. On the walls, a decades-old pattern faded, peeling dim. Incandescent lights, flickering, casting shadows that moved when nothing else did. 4 doors. 3301, 3302, 3303, 3304. The brass numbers were tarnished, old, like they had been there for 50 years. But Azure Heights was only 7 years old. Marcus walked toward 3304. Carpet beneath his feet made no sound behind him. The elevator doors closed when he turned to look. The elevator was gone. Just a blank wall. The door to 3304 was slightly open. Warm light spilled into the hallway. He heard humming, a child's voice singing a nursery rhyme off-key. Marcus pushed the door open. A little girl stood in the living room, 6 years old, pink nightgown, long dark hair, bare feet. She turned to face him and smiled. My daddy came. Her voice was too high, like a recording played at the wrong speed. He always comes when we ask. Marcus stepped inside. Are you cold? He asked you. Mother said you were cold. The girl's smile did not move. Her eyes did not blink. I'm not cold anymore. She tilted her head too far, too wrong, like her neck had extra joints. We are never cold when we have guests. Marcus felt something shift in his chest. He spreading. Where is your mother? The girl pointed behind him. Marcus turned. A woman stood in the hallway, or something, wearing the shape of a woman. Her face was smooth. No eyes, no mouth, just skin stretched over absence, where her face should have been. Marcus could see through, not to the wall behind her, but to somewhere else. Other apartments stacked on top of each other. Dozens, hundreds, all occupying the same space. He could see residents cooking, watching television, sleeping, all compressed into one floor. The tour should not exist. The little girl spoke again. You will stay now like the others. She pointed to the couch. Marcus had not noticed them before. 7 men sitting, their maintenance uniforms, tool bags at their feet. They stared at the walls, unmoving, unblinking, breathing, but empty. They came to help too. The girl walked closer. The building gets lonely when people forget about us, when they remove us from blueprints, when they skip our floor on the elevator. We were supposed to exist. 18 more apartments here on floor 33, but they ran out of money, changed the plans, and Now we live in the space between floors. The thing wearing the woman's shape moved. Closer, its voice came from everywhere. The building does not need repairs. It needs witnesses, people to remember. That we exist. Marcus backed away. The door was gone, just another wall. The girl took his hand. Her fingers were impossibly cold. Do not be afraid. It does not hurt to stay. You just stop leaving. Marcus looked at the men. One blinked. A tear rolled down his cheek, but he did not move. The apartment began to pulse. Walls expanding, contracting like lungs. Marcus felt the building pulling at him, not his body, but the part of him that knew how to leave. He thought of Lily waking up, asking where Daddy was. Marcus closed his eyes. Ran. He did not know where he was running. Hallways twisted, doors opened into walls, but he kept moving. His hand found something cold, metal, a handle. He turned it and fell. They found Marcus Webb 3 days later, standing in the lobby of Azure Heights, holding his tool bag, still warm, still breathing, but he never spoke again. His daughter visited every week. She told him about school, about missing him. Sometimes Marcus would blink, but his eyes always looked past her to the corner of the room where something stood that only he could see. Azure Heights is still operating. The building officially has 42 floors. Elevator buttons skip from 32 to 34, but between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Maintenance app still receives requests from Unit 30. 3040. Delete immediately. Do not investigate, do not respond. But sometimes new workers do not know the rules. Sometimes they see a message about a child who is cold, and sometimes fathers cannot ignore cries for help, even when those cries come from a floor that should not exist. This was After Dark Protocol 005. Some floors were removed from blueprints, but never from the building. Some apartments exist in the spaces we forgot to construct, and some requests should never be answered. They say if you work night shift at Azure Heights and you press all the elevator buttons in sequence, basement to 42, sometimes between 32 and 34, the elevator stops, and when the doors open, you can see them. 8 maintenance workers sitting on burgundy couches in an apartment that was never built, still waiting for their shift to end. Subscribe before the next request comes through.